Imperial DS-1 Orbital Battle Station, the Death Star. Again, I've been permitted to share only the essentials of the IDMR's crowning achievement. The DS-1 is the cornerstone of the Imperial Projection of Power doctrine, and those who understand the principle of rule by fear will appreciate the name by which the DS-1 is to be referred in the low-security communiques likely to be intercepted by Bothan's spy network, and from there make their way to the hands of the rebels, and that name is the Death Star. The Death Star is the culmination of over 2 decades of military research. It began as the weapon, a project hatched by the Geonosian hives during the Clone Wars, and intended for use against the Republic by the Separatists. That design was merged with the plans for the expeditionary planet Planetoid, co-developed by the Starship designer Signar and our very own Grand Moff Tarkin. The result is the DS-1. Construction of this metal moon has been one of the greatest achievements of the Imperial Age. The Death Star, conceived by geniuses, was built upon sturdy backs of constricted Wookiee laborers. At last the Death Star is complete. The Imperial commanders are now free to marvel at its polish and power. Will more Death Stars follow? Only time will tell, but at the IDMR we have explored 2 scenarios. Under the first, factory worlds will switch their output to the production of assembly line duplicates of the current DS-1 design. Under the second, the Empire would build an even larger and more dangerous Death Star, one that would be 160 kilometers in diameter. I am confident that this is the only beginning. I have spent a lifetime in the field of weapons research, and no client ever settles for a single ultimate weapon. Note, if questioned by non-Imperial news outlets concerning the DS-1 battle station, or Death Star, please use its official title, Imperial Planetary Ore Extractor. As a precaution, report the questionnaire to the Imperial Security Bureau for a thorough follow-up. Overall configuration, 120 kilometers in diameter, 2 polar hemispheres, 12 radial zones, 1 kilometer wide equilateral trench, quadrinium steel hull, sufficient power, supplies, and consumables for 3 years of continuous operations. Personnel, 343,000 naval crewers, 27,000 naval officers, 57,300 gunners, 285,700 maintenance and support staff, 167,200 pilots, 42,800 starship support staff, 607,400 army troops, 26,000 stormtroopers, 400,000 droids, and an estimated 843,000 passengers. Composite beam superlaser. Position, Northern Hemisphere. 8 particle accelerator tubes project individual beams that converge above a focusing dish to form a single superlaser beam. Power output, variable. Settings range from capital ships to planets. Approximate superlaser recharge time ranges from 1 hour to 24 hours. Range, 47,060,000 kilometers. Secondary weapon systems. 15,000 turbo laser batteries. 5,000 TIAM XX9 heavy turbo lasers. 2,500 SB920 laser cannons. 2,500 Defense MS-1 ion cannons. 1,400 laser cannons. 768 Phylon tractor beam generators. And 440 proton torpedo banks. Reactor. Sinar Fleet Systems Hypermatter Reactor. Thermal exhaust port vents, hypermatter reactor wastes. City sprawls. The DS-1 interior is divided into 84 internal levels, with 257 sublevels each. The station's habitable zones are arranged in self-contained, city-sized units, replicated in near-identical configurations. Common features include armories, detention blocks, weight suppressions, stormtrooper barracks, conference rooms, TIE fighter hangars, 72 TIE mounted to ceiling racks, shuttle bay landings, atmospheric containment by magnetic field. Starship and vehicle complement: 7,000 TIE fighters, 4 strike cruisers, 3,600 assault shuttles, 1,860 dropships, 1,400 AT-AT walkers, 1,400 AT-ST scout walkers. Hyperspace and sublight engines: 2 SEPMA 35 sublight engines, max sublight speed of 10 mglt. Class 4.0 hyperdrive containing a 123 ISO-SIM interleaked hyperdrive generators, and a Class 20.0 backup hyperdrive. Overbridge. This shielded war room is located above the super laser focusing dish. From here, the Executive Command can oversee operations of the Death Star, supervise the battle stations attached to the Imperial Army, Navy, and Stormtrooper Corps, as well as have access to tactical holograms and secure communications booth. Throne Room. Located atop a 100-meter tower near the Northern Pole, this room provides full amenities for His Imperial Majesty, including a private turbolift and throne with command controls. Access to this room is granted to the Emperor, his advisors, and his royal guard.